For you. This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Taking a live look from our tower cam at Monument Circle. A quiet night after a few storms earlier today. Now we look ahead to what you can expect for your Sunday. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Griffin, joined in the tracking center by Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts. Kyle, hoping for a nice pool day tomorrow. Yeah, a lot of people stretching out the long holiday weekend here and had some holiday fireworks still going on earlier this evening. So, you know, it's looking pretty good, I think, for your pool day tomorrow. This evening, Storm Team 6 radar, things are pretty much quieting down for us at this point. A couple of showers around Sullivan. Earlier this evening with that downpour in Greencastle, though, we had a rainbow you can see there over the DePaul University campus. And if you look closely, you can see a double rainbow that came out of that. After the storms moved out, we had a beautiful sunset across the area. Not sure which is more beautiful there, though, the sky or the Corvette. I'm just kidding. We got the nice sky closing out the day, and Kevin Gregory in Brownsburg always working for us and snapping that beautiful photo. Temperature right now, 78 degrees in downtown. It's 77 for you in Bloomington. As you get ready to start off your Sunday, comfortable temperatures in the lower 70s, a dry start to the day. I'll let you know if it'll stay that way into the afternoon in a few minutes. Kyle, thank you. New at 11, detectives are trying to piece together all the details after discovering a crime scene and figuring out 2 people were shot and taken to local hospitals. IMPD believes a gas station at 38th and High School Road was the scene of the shooting. But when officers arrived there, they did not find the victims. Police say a red car was seen speeding away from that area and then showed up at a fire station at 52nd in Georgetown. One of the victims was dropped off and taken to the hospital. Police say another victim also showed up at a hospital. IMPD confirms one person is in critical condition. The other is in stable condition. In an effort to reduce the number of drunk drivers and make our roads safer, police arrested 4 people at a DUI checkpoint in Marion County today. DUI checkpoints are held throughout the year. This is video of one during St. Patrick's Day weekend. 2 more checkpoints are scheduled for this month on Thursday, July 18th and Thursday, July 25th at 5 p.m. The project, called Driving Under the Influence, is funded by a grant from the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute. This blazing house fire is just one example of the fallout from a second powerful earthquake to rock Southern California since Thursday. You can imagine people are on alert tonight, wondering if another quake is coming. ABC's Danya Backus has the very latest from Los Angeles.
Brayden, get over here!
California's strongest earthquake in more than 20 years.
Everybody okay?
Violently shaking buildings. This grocery store near the epicenter losing power as customers and employees try to escape, aisle by aisle covered by fallen merchandise.
Dusty.
Friday's quake is Southern California's second major earthquake in less than 48 hours. Experts say there have been more than 4,500 aftershocks.
This has been a traumatic experience for this, not only me, but for this entire area here that we've experienced. Never experienced anything like this before.
Some people so shaken, they decided to spend the night outdoors, afraid their homes are too dangerous.
My kids don't feel safe, my wife doesn't feel safe inside, and then just to get like a little more comfortable for them. So I plan out this camping out. That's this camp out over here.
The epicenter of Friday's quake, 11 miles from Thursday's 6.4 tremor. Officials believe it was only the precursor to the massive 7.1. The quake was felt throughout Southern California and in 2 other states.
This is a wake-up call. Not for this community, it's reality for this community, but it is a wake-up call for the rest of the state.
California's governor now requesting a presidential emergency declaration for the communities impacted as officials continue to survey the damage. Experts say those aftershocks will continue, and they say there's a nearly 30% chance for a magnitude 6.0 quake here in the next week. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The investigation continues tonight after a crash that left one woman dead in Henry County. It happened last night just before 10 o'clock on I-70 East near Knightstown. Police responded, finding a car on fire with heavy front end damage. First responders put out the flames and began helping the woman inside, but despite their efforts, 45-year-old Holly Ann Guffey of Louisville died at the scene. Investigators say speed was a factor and one of the vehicles rear-ended the other. The other driver was not injured. This update, new at 11, a man who has Alzheimer's disease has been found safe after he went missing for several hours today. We first told you at 6, 50-year-old Belena Retta walked away from his home on the west side around noon today. Just a short time ago, Metro Police informed us that Retta had been located and was escorted home by an officer. An appeals court says Purdue University may have discriminated against a student who was accused of sexual assault. The court says Purdue too hastily sided with a female student and ignored the man's efforts to offer evidence in his defense. The decision gives him a chance to proceed with a lawsuit against Purdue. The man denied the assault allegations, and he was suspended from the Navy ROTC program and also lost his scholarship. A Bartholomew County Sheriff's deputy is recovering tonight after investigators say a man she was trying to detain attacked her. 20-year-old Kevin Farrell is facing several charges, including battery on a public safety official and resisting law enforcement. It started when the deputy was flagged down on July 4th at the Sunnybrook Mobile Home Park. Investigators say Farrell was intoxicated and became belligerent, attempting to leave. And when the deputy tried to detain him, investigators say Farrell hit her in the face and spit on her. The deputy was taken to the hospital for swelling and bruising. As the number of homicides in Indianapolis continues to rise this summer, family members are left behind grieving the loss of their loved one. One group is working to provide support to mothers impacted by that violence. They say the mothers are often the ones that are forgotten. A support system within Indianapolis is connecting mothers who share a common bond and, unfortunately, a pain they don't wish on any other mother.
What we try to do is provide an atmosphere where the mothers can feel safe to come in and share their stories to begin that healing process.
A Mother's Cry is a group made up of mothers from all across Indianapolis, mothers who have lost a child to violence.
It's helped me a lot, because I got a place where I could go, with my grief and, don't feel judged or, some days we might not even talk about our children. They pamper us and, do activities.
Sheila Dunlop's son was killed in May of 2014. Before she joined A Mother's Cry, the grief was so heavy, she didn't know where to turn for help.
First, I felt all alone. I didn't... I really didn't know what to think or what to do because, that was my baby boy. That's when the Mother's Cry came along, it felt good because I had hope.
The group meets every third Saturday of the month at the East 38th Street Library. Right now, there are around 15 members, but group leaders say they know there are other mothers out there that need support.
A lot of them, they feel that shock and disbelief. A lot of mothers struggle with guilt.
Crystal Hicks is a psychologist that works with the mothers. She teaches them the importance of self-care, processing emotions, and how to develop coping skills.
I would want them to know that their story matters, that what happened to them matters, and that there's a place that they can come and find refuge. There's mothers who've been on this journey for a while, and they may be able to draw strength from them, and that when you talk about what you've been through, it can help you process it.
She wants mothers who are feeling this pain to know there is a group for them that can help as they continue grieving the loss of their child. A Mother's Cry is part of the Ross Foundation. If you want to be a part of this group, register online at therossfoundationcommunity.org. A massive explosion at a shopping center, multiple injuries reported. Coming up, new information from the investigation about a possible cause. And some local kids and their families get a leg up on the next school year. The lesson here, it's never too early to be prepared.
Ashley Home Store, now open in Whitestown.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Authorities suspect a gas leak may be the cause of a massive explosion here at a Florida shopping center, but federal agents remain on scene aiding in that investigation. Here's ABC's Ty Hernandez with the latest on the blast that injured more than 20 people.
Investigators on the scene of a massive explosion at this shopping center in Plantation, Florida, just west of Fort Lauderdale.
We had ruptured gas lines. We did have an active gas leak when we arrived. They were able to secure it. Whether that was the cause or not, we have not confirmed.
One building completely decimated in the blast.
The entire, inside of the store I was in just caved in.
People inside this LA Fitness racing to make their way outside. Windows blown out. The front of the building destroyed.
It took out all the windows from the LA Fitness. It rocked the whole building. The building shook. The ceiling started falling on everyone. It was a very chaotic scene. There were people on the floor.
The debris stretching across several parking lots. Guillermo Villa was about to charge his Tesla SUV when he heard the explosion.
I went underneath my car because there was so much debris falling from the sky. It was like raining big pieces of the roof, the wall, bricks, everything.
And this dad says he left the shopping center moments before the blast.
Drove about 50 yards, and behind us, everything just exploded all at once.
Rescuers brought in search dogs to canvass the area for anyone possibly trapped. At least 23 people injured, more than a dozen treated at area hospitals.
At this point, nobody was killed. Thank goodness for that. As bad as it is, it could have been a lot worse.
Ty Hernandez, ABC News, New York.
New tonight, Democratic candidate for President Joe Biden is hoping his ties to the Obama White House will help him rise above recent criticism. The former vice president was at a campaign event in South Carolina today where he apologized for comments he made about having cordial relationships with racist lawmakers early in his political career. Biden is now hoping the fact that President Obama chose him as a running mate will serve as redemption.
I was vetted by he and 10 serious lawyers he appointed to go back and to look at every single thing in my background, from finances to anything I had done, everything. And he selected me. I'll take his judgment about my record, my character, my ability to handle a job over anyone else's.
Biden says he's changed since being a senator in the 70s. His defense comes after another candidate for president, Senator Kamala Harris, confronted him at the first Democratic presidential debate about his past political views. The first day of school, some parents love it, but others dread it. And that's thanks to a long list of tasks and bills that come before the school year even begins. RTV6's Cameron Riddle spent the day with families in Fountain Square as they received a helping hand as they prepared to send their children back to school.
It may only be the first week of July, but parents and their kids are already preparing for the first day of school.
Backpacks, the haircuts, the school supplies, everything, you name it.
It's those things every parent has to work into their budget to make sure their kids have everything they need to start the school year off right. But for many, that task can be easier said than done.
Very, very stressful, especially because of the fact that I've got 5 kids that I got to do it for.
That's why hundreds of families from the Fountain Square area stood in long lines at the Salvation Army, getting a head start on getting everything the first day of school requires, including those backpacks, school supplies, and even haircuts, all without spending a dime.
The number one thing that we hear from families as they come in and they partake in this is that for many of them, this is the difference between whether or not they can afford their light bill this month. And school supplies are so expensive. And then you multiply that with multiple children who are all sort of in that same age group. Families, for them, this offers them a huge relief on their financial struggles.
Yeah, you can have one of those. I would think these two would be the same. I don't know.
As the to-do list for parents gets shorter, the excitement for students grows louder, particularly from those who will go to school for the very first time and have already mastered their first lesson, both forward and backwards.
ZYXWVUTSRQPONNLKJIHEFEBCBA.
As this line wraps around this building, it shows the manpower and community effort it takes to send kids back to school. In Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Cameron, thank you. Today's event was only for residents of Fountain Square, but other events will take place across Central Indiana over the course of the month. The Salvation Army says the best way to find a back-to-school drive near you is by calling the 211 information line. Let's get over to Kyle.
Yeah, that kid had his ABCs and XYZs and everything down, didn't he? But
We got some numbers to talk about. 90 specifically. We made it to 90 again this afternoon. That makes it the 6th time this year that we've done so, but that stretch might be coming to at least a temporary end here. It's still warm out there tonight, 78 degrees in downtown. A little bit of a heat index, still feels like the lower 80s, 77 in Peru and 77 in Columbus, feels like 78 degrees. We talked about the rain. That's pretty much come to an end around central Indiana at this point. Still, though, we're going to have those clouds, and that will linger right on into your Sunday morning with temperatures that drop back about 10 degrees or so. 70 will be the overnight temperature, and we'll have our wind turn out of the north. It will be pretty light, though, at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, but it will be the difference in some slightly cooler air tomorrow. Notice right through noon, we get just to 80 degrees instead of the middle 80s the first half of the day. We'll still be at 75 for you at 9 a.m. That mild morning turns into a warm afternoon as temperatures will be into the lower to middle 80s for that afternoon high, and that's right about where we should be with those partly sunny skies in place. But there is an isolated chance for a shower or storm tomorrow. Our rain chance is only about 20%, though. This is 2:30 in the afternoon on TrueCast. You can see a couple of those showers popping up here. Any that do will be very brief and move through here pretty quickly as we go into the afternoon. And just like today, we get to sunset around 9:30, and any of those downpours will quickly kind of fade away. Maybe you're going to be heading out to the lake or the pool tomorrow. Well, it's going to be a nice day at Morse Reservoir. That temperature, 85 for the afternoon, and check that out. The water temperature, not much cooler than that. Almost feeling like bath water out there at 83 degrees. It'll be at 85 for the afternoon high in Bloomington, 85 in Muncie. Still going to have some of that humidity around, so we'll have heat index values into the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. We're going to get a break in the humidity too. Notice it kind of ebbs and flows here over the next several days, but really as we get toward the end of next week, that's when we're going to notice some refreshing changes built in for a couple of days. 7-day planning forecast now for you, and we've got those highs in the middle 80s right on through Tuesday, really at 87, and a dry stretch of weather outside of that isolated downpour tomorrow. Wednesdays, when we get back into those rain chances, 89 will be the afternoon high, so it will be one of those tropical feeling days. After that, though, 84 Thursday, Friday, and that's again where we're going to dip the humidity. So overall, a pretty quiet 7-day forecast there. Just a couple of chances for rain isolated tomorrow. A little better chance on Wednesday.
It'll be nice to get a little bit of break from all the rain.
Yeah, we need some break from that and the heat.
And for the farmers, that'll be good. Thank you so much, Kyle. Well, coming up on RTV6 News at 11, the Army is changing the way it recruits, why they are now hoping gamers will show interest in serving our country. The U.S. Army is getting into video games. The Army is changing its recruiting tactics and looking for a few good gamers to help fill out the ranks. Reporter Kai Beach explains why.
1, 2, 3. The United States Army wants more soldiers. Group attention! Last year, the recruitment goal was gaining 76,500 new recruits. Catch up, catch up, catch up! The Army didn't make that mission, enlisting around 70,000 soldiers. Yes, Sergeant! This year, the recruitment goal is getting 68,000 new pairs of boots on the ground. Go to the cone! But finding qualified candidates isn't what it used to be.
10 years ago, it was pretty easy to find qualified individuals. In the last couple years, it's just gone down.
Parade! Rest. So to help with recruiting numbers, the Army's trying something brand new this year. They built this massive 18-wheeler gaming trailer that they're going to take across the United States with the idea of getting more young people interested in joining the military through video games.
So that is a U.S. Army esports gaming trailer, otherwise known as the AS-10.
Sergeant First Class Robert Dodge tells us 71% of Americans between the ages of 17 and 24 do not qualify for military service. The reasons range from drug history to health problems and misconduct. But the #1 disqualifier is obesity. So recruiters are shifting gears and setting their sights on a new pool of potential soldiers.
I think it's kind of interesting.
The Army is now going to video gaming conventions across the country. The first stop, Salt Lake City. Is it targeting the younger audience? And if so, What do you guys hope to get out of it?
We are targeting a younger audience. We're looking for that 17 to 24-year-old, and we're looking for the best and the brightest that America has to offer.
And so far, this tactic appears to be raising some interest and attracting potential soldiers.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially in here, the way they have this whole thing set up.
At 20 years old, Adrian Bugarin is the age the military is looking for. While playing this first-person shooter video game, Bugarin says he never thought about enlisting until he experienced this video game trailer.
Definitely something to think about, especially with this, and hopefully, because I'm trying to look into computer science too, so hopefully I know they do with college and stuff.
With more jobs available today, it's creating more competition with other industries when it comes to recruitment.
So my name is Cynthia Diaz, and I'm going to be joining as a 60 Whiskey combat medic.
Cynthia Diaz signed up to serve 6 years in the Army, putting her life on the line to help others.
Begin!
I've always had a passion to help people, and I just love the whole medical aspect. I'm nervous, but I'm also excited. I'm ready to begin a new chapter in my life.
Most days, I'll create a post.
She learned about the Army online through social media, another new tactic in the world of military recruiting.
That'll be good to go, sir.
But recruiters believe video games could be their best option in enlisting more soldiers, saying they'll stay on the road until this mission is complete.
Just by still downloading, is it not?
I'm Kai Beach reporting.
Hiring Hoosiers is an RTV6 initiative looking to match you with jobs and career resources. The Indiana State Police Capitol Police Section is now accepting applications. Applications must be received via online submission by 11:59 on Wednesday, July 10th. Applications received after that deadline will not be accepted. Here are the basic requirements for a Capitol Police officer. You must be a U.S. citizen, and you must also be 21 years of age. You must meet a minimum vision standard of 20/50 in each eye. You must also have a valid driver's license, and you must be a high school graduate. The starting salary for a Capitol Police officer is just under $45,000 a year. There's a big job fair happening next week. It will be held at the Grand Hall at the Indiana State Fairgrounds from 10 till 2 on Wednesday. Several companies will be there, including Harrah's Hoosier Park, Indiana Grand Racing and Casino, Raytheon, and United Health Group. Be sure to bring your resume to the event. A couple's private moment caught on camera by a stranger, but it's nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, the person who took the photos wants to share their joy along with them. We'll be right back.
At the meat. 4 sandwiches.
Today, the world got its first clear look at the newest royal at his christening. Baby Archie is the son of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. He was christened in Windsor at a private ceremony exactly 2 months after he was born on May 6th. One photo shows the family in the green room of Windsor Castle, Meghan, Harry, and Archie in the center. Also, Prince Charles and the Duchess of Cornwall, Mrs. Doria Ragland, Meghan's mother, and William and Kate. 2 of Harry's aunts were also there, sisters of his late mother, Diana. The other photo was a black and white shot of the new family, Harry, Meghan, and Archie all together. July 4th was a special night for an Indiana couple, and through a happy coincidence, their big moment was captured forever. The problem was photographer Tyler Huffman needed to find the man and woman in the picture. Huffman was snapping pictures of the fireworks display in Carmel, completely absorbed by the brilliant colors. It wasn't until later he noticed the man on one knee popping the question. He wanted to give them copies of their special occasion, so Tyler put the word out on social media, and today we learned that couple came forward. Tyler says they actually live at the same apartment complex about 10 doors apart and plan to meet tomorrow. What a great story.
Yeah, in a small world, right? Well, nice that their paths have crossed, and tomorrow your path might be heading outdoors. Pretty nice day for it. Partly sunny skies. Those temperatures starting off around 70. We'll get into the middle 80s for that afternoon high. Next 7 days of your forecast, not too many 90s out there for a change.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us. Have a great night.